Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Shubhi. I talk about books, reading, book recommendations and a little bit of lifestyle on this channel. I hope you like it here. I hope you enjoy it. If this is the first time you are seeing my face, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, do give it a like. It would mean the world to me. Also, follow me on Instagram while you're at it. So now that we've covered all that, let's get on with today's video. Is it too late to do a February wrap up? I don't know, maybe it is, but I'm still gonna do it because February was a great month in terms of reading. I read a lot of good books, and the variety of books that I've read was top notch. My reads were spread across genres. Not to say that every single book was like a 4 or a 5 star, but the kind of mix that I had with my February TBR, I loved it so much. I read like 7 books in total. Two were 5 stars, one I DNF. Let's get on with the Feb wrap up. I'm going to talk about the books in no particular order actually. The very first book that I want to talk about is Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. This was my first Olivia Blake that I read, so it was a little difficult to get started with the book. Up until like 50 or like 100 pages, I was very confused and I wanted to kind of DNF this book because I was not like the writing style was not clicking with me. It was too many adjectives and it was very hard for me to read the book. But in case you've never read Olivia Blake and you're not familiar with the kind of writing style that she has, it's okay. Give it like 150 pages. It's a thick book, so it's okay. Give it like 150 pages, and I promise you, it will start to, you know, comprehend better. You will be able to comprehend better, and it'll start to make sense. The writing will then flow, and the book was so humorous, so witty. I loved it. I loved the writing style specifically in this book. This book is a I would say speculative fiction because it has a little bit of magical realism in this, but like not a lot. How, maybe a Murakami book is not like that. It has sprinkles of magical realism here and there. So you have to just go with the flow and do not try to make too much sense out of it. I'll tell you about the plot. So we have three uh, children. No, not children. We have three people, three main character around whom the story revolves, and they are the children of this very wealthy magitech tycoon, and they are brought back together by the sudden death of their father. I am forgetting his name. Not Ren, Thayer Ren. So he dies, and all of his children are then brought back together. This kind of becomes a succession drama then, because it's all about who's going to inherit the father's empire. And these three children, mind you, are gifted in the sense that I don't even know how to describe it. Like, one of the siblings can literally cause apocalypses. It's not going to make sense until you read it, and maybe it won't make sense even after you read it, but that's okay. I gave this book a 3.75 stars simply because I was not able to understand the first, I don't know, 150 pages, and the writing style did take a lot of getting used to. It was not easy at all, but like a very enjoyable read. I loved it so much. I loved, there's also a narrator who's narrating the story, which I don't know, I don't want to talk too much about the narrator because it becomes very important by the end of the book. So read it for yourself, see if you like. Also, if you like Umbrella Academy, that is the kind of vibes that this book gives. Minus the superhero aspect, but include the magical realism aspect. There's a lot of things happening in this book. So just I would I recommend this book wholeheartedly. So that was the first book that I read. The second book that I want to talk about is Quaintly Beloved by Farhad J. Now, this was a review copy that was sent to me. The cover on this one is so gorgeous. I read this book, I really enjoyed it. It's a queer romance. The couple is gay. In the book, it follows the story of Ved and Carlos, set in India, Mumbai mostly. And it's like, if you like wedding and wedding planning, and the kind of setup that a big fat Indian wedding gives, you're gonna really enjoy the vibes of the book. So Ved and Carlos are in a relationship for 3 years, and now they finally decided to get married. But of course, no marriages without obstructions. There's family, there's exes, a lot of things are happening. But it's just a story to see how love conquers all, and that's what we see in this book. It's really fun, short book, short read. between all your serious reads like fantasies or lit I enjoyed this book so much. I do want to say that this is predictable. I knew what was I getting into before I, even started reading the book. And it does not have a lot of emotional depth as much as I would like my characters to have, but I feel like that's completely okay. Sometimes to read a book like that, you can't always be, reading too much emotions because that messes up with your brain. There was a very fun, refreshing takes, and for somebody like me who does not read a lot of books that are set in India and are a little too close to home, it's always once in a while it's always nice to read a refreshing one in the middle. So yeah, Quaidly Beloved. The third book that I want to talk about is a five-star read. It's Piranesi by Susanna Clark. Now, I got this as a part of the certified reading campaign by Bloomsbury India. So, if you don't know what that campaign is, it is basically a list of 10 books. 10, right? Yeah, I think 10 books. And those are books that are very highly acclaimed all across the world. And this was one of the books, Piranesi. I mean, yes, I also kind of annotated the book because what a masterpiece. I mean, I've never read something like this. There's a lot of genre blending in this book. It is s- kind of a fantasy, science fiction, mystery, thriller, even literary fiction all mixed into one. So good, so good. I don't know, up until like 30-40% of the book I was so confused. I had no idea what was going on in the book, but when it makes sense, and trust me, it does make sense, your world is gonna turn upside down. Okay, that's how great of a book this is. And this is like what, not even 300 pages, I'm sure. Let me check. Yeah, it's like it's not even 250 pages, it's like 240-ish. I don't know how somebody can write something like this in like 250 pages. It's crazy. You have to, if you've read this book, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't read the book, what are you doing? Like, please go read this book. So, I'll try to explain what this book is about, but it's not gonna make sense. The story opens up with a man named Piranesi who lives in the house, and this house is like a weird magical place which is huge. It is a whole another world, and there are a lot of halls, and these halls are filled with huge statues, and there is a sea, there is wind, there is water flowing beneath the halls, and something is happening, I don't know. And right off the bat you get this weird eerie feeling reading that book. And like I said, when it starts to make sense, like around 40-50% mark, your head is gonna be blown away about what is going on in this book. Just perfectionism. Okay, this qualifies as a 6-star god tier book. You have to read it to understand what I'm saying. So highly like, if there's one book that you have to pick out of this video, pick this one. No questions, no second thoughts, just pick this book up. Okay, straight up after 5-star, the next book I want to talk about is In Safe Hands by Ivy Nigao. Now, unfortunately, I had to DNF this book. It is a thriller. It follows the story of a woman who has kind of failed her business, and she's recently moved back to her father's house. And her mom's died recently, I feel like a couple of years ago, and her father has now hired this caretaker that's living with him, and that caretaker has kind of taken over her father's life. The premise, of course, sounds very interesting. The blurb was very interesting. When I read it, I really enjoyed the blurb, but I just could not connect with any of the characters. I gave it a good shot. I read like 100 pages of the book, but I did not vibe. It wasn't something I was very interested in. I did not want to, waste my time reading the book that I was not interested in. Unfortunately, this was a DNF. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. Moving on, we have Appetite by Shiv Ranjana Rathore and Tino Desa. Now, this is a collection of short stories, poems, and essays from writers all across Goa. This book will make you wanna get on a plane and go to Goa because that's how much it made me miss Goa. I haven't read all of the stories, obviously. I have read a lot, and other than the food and culture and happy side of Goa, this focuses more on, human greed, human desire, and how far humans will go to get what they want. Some of the stories are really, really great, very interesting, very, they thought provoking, they'll make you think. There's also very beautiful visuals throughout the book that you will see. I'm trying to find one. Wait. Yeah, see? Yeah. If you are interested in reading about Goa's cultural and political insights, I think you will really, really enjoy this book. The next book is again a 5 star for me. This was not planned, this was not on my TBR. In fact, I got this book in February itself. It was all over Instagram, Bookstagram. I had seen this book so much, and specifically, I heard one person talk about this book, and that made me really curious and really intrigued to read the book and know what it's about. So, I got it, I started reading it, and I could not stop. It's also, I mean, do check the trigger warnings, of course. And I'm going to say that this book is not going to be for everybody. You might have your opinion, you might have your thought. This book, of course, has internet divided into some people love it, some people hate it. I was on the side that loved the book. I loved the writing. I'll tell you, it's Half His Age by Janet McCarty. The writing, the story, the emotions, the characters, the flawed nature of the characters, the rawness that this book holds. Loved it so, so, so much. Very gripping. It's vulgar, it's bold, it's a lot of things. And which is precisely why people, I don't know, do not like the book. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I annotated this one also. And there were so many beautiful passages, so many beautiful quotes in this one. The plot of this basically revolves around a 17-year-old girl whose name is Waldo. I don't know. Firstly, the name only, why it is not discussed anywhere in the book that why she is named Waldo. What kind of a name is Waldo? Anyway, so she is named Waldo. She's 17-year-old and she falls in love with her 40-year-old professor, creative writing professor. And the book is about the relationship. So, yeah, like I said, this is not going to be for everybody because this does have explicit scenes, parts of their relationship portrayed, and it's very uncomfortable for you to read because you, as a reader, feel like you should not be reading about whatever is written in the book. So coming back to the story, coming back to Waldo, she has an absent father, and her mom is like a character of her own. She's not a mom, she's the kind of a mom that Waldo has to be, a mom too. So she's very lonely, she's empty from inside, and this also heavily talks about consumerism and retail therapy, and that is kind of shown to portray Waldo's internal emptiness. Of course, this has a lot of manipulation, a lot of grooming, which is again, like I said, very uncomfortable to read. But if you can read it, definitely read the book. It will have you thinking about it for weeks. Yeah, read it. Definitely give it a shot if you like and can digest such stories. On a lighter note, the next book that I want to talk about is The Murder After the Night Before by Katie Brent. I had this on my TBR for 2 years at this point, and I thought this was gonna be a humorous read, seeing the cover and all, but this took such a weird and such a dark turns. Is a crime fiction. I wouldn't say thriller because the setting is not very dark. So basically, we have a girl who, I don't know if I should say it or not. Would that spoil it for you? Yeah. Okay. So basically, we have our main character. What is her name? Molly. We have Molly, and she has woken up with the worst hangover of her life. She does not remember what happened the previous night. She has a stranger in her bed, and she has gone viral on the internet for the worst reason possible. And she cannot remember a thing. And then a day later or 2 days later, she finds out that her best friend is dead. We basically follow Molly and how she solves Posey's the best friend, Posey's murder. Very interesting. I would say I do not know how I feel about the ending because I feel like it could have been better. I was not fully satisfied with how this book ended. That is why the rating. But yeah, definitely it's interesting. Will, occupy your mind for how much ever time you're reading it. And once you're done, you're done. The writing is very easy, very flowy, very approachable, accessible. This makes me want to read her other books. I feel like she has three more books: How to Kill Men and Get Away with It, and one more is there. I'm forgetting the name. So yeah, this definitely makes me want to read her another book. Very light, very on the go kind of a book. Of course, the mystery itself is a little, dark and stuff. But if you read thrillers, this is a piece of cake for you. Yeah, that was the last book of Feb. And oh wait, I forgot to talk about one book. I read one more book in the month of Feb, which was Bad Publicity by Bianca Gillam. I completely forgot about this. I don't know what is wrong with me. Yeah, this was a romance book. I wanted to read a romance in the month of Feb because Valentine's and all, so I read this book. I can't believe I forgot about it. That's so embarrassing. I gave this book a 3 stars. This was a fun romance read. It's your typical romance book. Enemies to lovers, forced proximity, all of that. Very trope oriented and kind of predictable. You know what's gonna happen. Our female main characters works as a publishing intern. Yeah, she works in the publishing industry, and the male main character is an author. And the two have history together, but they have to work together now that they are in the same publishing house. And Andy is working for Jack's, book launch that's happening. For that, they have to go to Europe for a book tour. So definitely fun, easy breezy vibes. Not a lot of emotional character and character development. Kinda just plain simple rom com. Not my favorite romances out there, but so yeah, we have an update here. I read 8 books in the month of Feb. Here they are. These are all the books that I read in the month of Feb. Really enjoyed it, really loved it. Tell me how many books you read in the month of Feb and how many did you like? How was your February in terms of reading? I am very excited for March. I already have my TBR picked out, which you will see in the next video. And with that, I'm gonna end this video right here. I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.